And the FBI's search of Mar-a-Lago has been good business for Donald Trump. The Washington Post reporting contributions to the former president's political action committee topped 1 million on at least 2 days last week as supporters were bombarded with emails asking for money. And Mr. Trump is now believed even more likely to run for president after defeating his chief nemesis, Liz Cheney, in her re-election bid in Wyoming on Tuesday. So joining me now, former Democratic National Committee Chair and Virginia Governor Terry McAuliffe, and former Republican National Committee Chair and Maryland Lieutenant Governor Michael Steele. What a pair of former chairs. Thank you both so much. So, Michael Steele, first, your reaction to the money that Donald Trump is making off the FBI Mar-a-Lago search.
Andrea, that's what it's all about. It's all about the money. We don't do this because if we don't get paid, we don't do it. Look, it's the grip. Why? The question I have is, why are these people giving their money to this supposed billionaire who's no longer in office? I mean, it's one of these things that this has always been about the grip. There's always been a transactional relationship. I can show you, I mean, countless messages and tips. Oh, give Donald Trump. Oh, you haven't given to Trump yet. He's upset, and people just churn the cash out. Every moment where Donald Trump's name is in the news on any subject is a moment to raise money for Donald Trump. Campaign contributions to all these candidates he endorsed probably total less than $1 million amongst all of them. $5,000 here, $200 there, but he's banking the rest. And that's the bottom line. It always has been. And people, as gullible as they can ever be, continue to stroke him a check because they've been told if you don't write Donald Trump a check off of this month's rent, he's going to be in trouble. And that's the narrative.
Terry, it must drive Democrats crazy that as bad as the news on the legal front gets, the Teflon former President Donald Trump appears to once again be turning all of this into a gold mine.
Well, listen, we're about to go into Labor Day. We're about to kick off the fall, the midterm campaign. And I tell Democrats all the time, forget Donald Trump, just forget it. Here we got a president and we got a Democratic Congress that has delivered for America's working families. I mean, think about this, Andrew. We are going into the midterms. You've got a president who has created 10 million new jobs, 528,000 just in the month of July, passed the American Rescue Plan, which saved us from the COVID pandemic, then got an infrastructure bill done, which we haven't been able to do since Dwight Eisenhower was president. It got us a chip bill so we can take on China, got us NATO working together to fight Russians in Ukraine, got us a gun safety bill passed, and now we've got the Inflation Reduction Act, which reduces, healthcare costs, which makes we be able to negotiate prescription drugs, caps seniors' out-of-pocket expenses. This is what we should be talking about going into the midterm elections. Joe Biden and the Democrats in Congress have delivered. What a great message to go into the fall campaign. Record millions of new jobs being created, and we're focused on American families.
But Terry,
and that's what we need to be talking about.
Let me just interrupt you because the candidates out on the road, and you've been a road warrior yourself so often, they've got the headwinds of the president's terrible poll numbers, historically low poll numbers for a first-term president. How do they get around that?
Sure. So look at what's just accomplished. And I think a big game changer for this upcoming is Roe v. Wade. Once Roe v. Wade, people woke up, you saw what happened in Kansas. And then the president and the Congress, it's just happened. I mean, the Inflation Reduction Act, the bill to protect our veterans, to give health care, to protect those that were exposed to burn pits. That's all what President Joe Biden has done. So we need to talk about the things that we actually get done. And I always tell Democrats, focus on the positive. As governor, I talked about the economy every day, job creation. That's our secret sauce. Joe Biden and the Democrats in Congress have delivered for America's working families. And the poll numbers, forget the poll numbers. What is it that you're taking to the voters? They're excited. They're energized. As I say, after Roe v. Wade, you've seen all this legislation now passed. Joe Biden has now passed more historic legislation than Lyndon Baines Johnson. And that should be our message every single day.
Well, Michael Steele, just jump in here because there's still the historic trends. Only twice in 100 years has the party in the White House, the party in power, not faced, major losses, not lost the House or the Senate.
That's true, but
those margins, can they overcome that history?
Yes, they can. Yes, they can. And the reason they can is because this is not then. This is the dynamics politically are beyond anything we've seen before. We're seeing generic ballot polling favor Democrats while Joe Biden is sitting at 40% approval. That's unprecedented. Typically, that generic ballot should be plus 10 Republican at this point. It is plus 7 Democrats. We've watched Republicans lose ground. Why? Because of the kind of candidates they're nominating. The message they're sending to the American people is, give us power, and then we'll tell you what we are going to do with it. What they're showing by the actions in the states is they want to penalize women, their pregnancies, their wombs. They want to control that. That kind of messaging is backfiring. I know a lot of Republican women are rejecting that message. Wow. The heavy-handedness of the GOP versus, to the chairman's point, the president's agenda is giving the Democrats an opportunity to have a conversation that Republicans can't interrupt, because people see it and they like, while they may be disappointed with where the economy is, Andrea, they're looking at the road ahead and going, that's a dark tunnel the Republicans want to take us through. And a lot of voters are saying, I may not want to go there.
We're going to have to leave it there. Terry McAuliffe, Michael Steele.
Thank you.
Thank you both so much.
Thank you.